Hello! In this lesson we'll talk about how to export the elements you've designed so that they can be integrated in your app. We'll also see how you can make your and your team's job easier by using a style guide. What you need to understand is that the person who will be coding the app will need you to provide him with a set of images that represent individual pieces in your UI. For example, these two buttons could be exported as PNG so the developer of the app can use them. With Sketch, it's really easy. All we need to do is select these two layers, go to File, and Add Slices for selection. We enter the export mode that you can switch on and off by clicking here. And in the export mode, the left panel becomes a list of slices. So this is the command button slice and the like button slice. You can move the slices around, like this, and resize them if you need to. You can even create a new slice by just clicking and dragging on the canvas. And if you're happy with your slices and want to export them all at the same time, you can click Export All. You can choose the format over here, but I advise you to stick with PNG. So here we have our two slices that we just exported on the desktop. Let's get rid of them for now. You can also export the slices individually by selecting the slice you want in the export mode over here and then clicking Export. Note that you have a small preview of what you'll be exporting, and you can even drag and drop this preview outside of Sketch to export it. This little share button will allow you to share directly the PNG slice via email, messages, AirDrop, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. When exporting elements like this, you might not need to export everything. For instance, you might want to export the button with the icon, but not the text. In order to do that, all you need to do is make sure that only include the following option is checked, not the include all layers, because this will include everything in the slice. So check this option, uncheck everything, and just select what you want to export. So we want the rectangle and we want the notif icon. Let's export this. And we now have a common button without the text. The Trim Transparent Pixel option over here can be pretty useful as well. If my slice is bigger, for instance like this, so bigger than the button, and that the Trim Transparent Pixel option is checked, when I export it, it will remove all the unused pixels. So let's give it a try. See? We don't have all this white space, only the button. Last option you can use is the also export as double size or half size. So if you're designing 1x, you have to use the double size, and if you're designing 2x, and that's what we're actually doing, we'll use the half size. So when you export the slice, it will create two slices, a non-retina and a retina version of the slice. Note that the retina version has a at 2x at the end of its name. It's a naming convention that you have to follow. Just be careful with one pixel elements like borders when exporting half size. They won't look good because there is no such thing as a half pixel. Alright. Just get rid of this too. So, before you do any of that, you have to talk with the developer of the app. This is especially important with scalable assets like backgrounds and interactive elements like buttons. For instance, you probably won't need to export this button as slices because this shape, this background, and this text can be reproduced with code. Actually, the developer will probably create an object with a gray background and rounded corners that will scale to the size of the text. So what he needs is the icon, the color of the background of the button, the color, the font, and the size of the text, and the margins or paddings, which are the spaces between these elements. So there is two things we need to do for the developer. Isolate the icons and export them, and document our design. So what do I mean by that? Let's start with exporting the icons. We'll duplicate the like icon and the comment icon. We'll drag them out of the buttons. Just make sure that they're not actually in the buttons over here. Okay. It's a little mess here. All right. So what we can do is select these two icons, like we did with the buttons, go to File and add slices for selection. But if we do that, we have two slices with different sizes. Look at this. The notification, the comment buttons icon, has a width of 26 and a height of 20, and the like icon has a width of 26, which is the same, but a height of 23. And because it will be easier for the developer if all the elements from the same category are the same size, we'll put each icon in a square of the same dimensions. Let me show you. We'll get rid of these two slices and go back to our icons. What I'll do is I'll create a square, 26 by 26. I'll center it with the icon and group these two layers. I'll do the same thing for the comment icon. We're going to rename this. Let's make sure that it is well centered. Okay, I group them, call that comment icon. And now if I select these two groups and go to add slices for selection, I have two slices with the same dimensions, 26 by 26 and 26 by 26. So this will be way easier for the developer to integrate. So the last thing we need to do now is to make sure we're not exporting the icon with this gray background. Because if I export this icon right now, we'll have the gray background, as you can see on the small preview. So I'll uncheck this and I will just check the comment icon, and if I export it, I should have just the icon with a transparent background. Perfect. Let's now document our design to make sure that the developer recreates exactly what we've designed. We can get rid of the comment button because the specifications are the same for these two buttons. Alright, so the text is Helvetica Neue, the size 26, and let's see for the colors, we're going to copy paste this hex code for later. Let's add some text over here for the specifications. We write text Helvetica Neue 26 pixels and the hex code we just copied. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's it for the text. Now let's do the same thing for the button. So what's important is the height, so 52 pixels. We have a radius of 4, that's important as well, and we want to know the color. Okay, we'll copy that. So button, we said height of 52 pixels. Radius 4, and the color was, yeah. And we also need to indicate the padding inside the button. So let's duplicate this like button. We'll replace the icon by the 26 by 26 square. Okay, let's make sure it's well centered. I think we're good. We'll change the color so we can see it a bit better. Okay, let's get rid of the icon. We'll do the same thing for the text. We want it to be 13 pixels away. We'll make this rectangle a bit bigger. Okay, we can hide the text for now. This is good. Let's create some rectangles. You want to put a width of 1 pixel, and we'll change the colors to something we can see a bit better, maybe like this. You can duplicate this first rectangle, put another here. Duplicate it again, place it just over here, one more time. We want to indicate the size of the padding, so we need to do that horizontally as well. Let's create a new rectangle with a height of 1 pixel and the same color. Okay, copy paste it. Alright, now we have a grid. We can add some text. So this is 26 pixel tall. The padding over here is 13 pixels. Same thing here. .26 pixels over here. 13 here. .13 again, and one last one. Just right here. We're not putting anything here because the size of the text can vary. And I think we're good. And we're going to do that for every element of our design. And this part on the left will go to the export file, and this part on the right will go to the style guide. Okay, so I've done all that for you because it would take a long time if we had to do that for the whole design. But don't hesitate to do it on your own. It will be a great exercise for you. Okay, so let me show you my export file and my style guide. So this is the export file. The export file serves two purposes. The first is to collect every element of your design so that you can quickly build new screens if you need to. This is the right part of the artboard, the bricks. These are the atoms, the molecules of your app that you can use and reuse in your screens. And the second purpose of this file is obviously to prepare the slices for the elements to be exported. so on the left part of this artboard, and you can notice that these are mainly icons because everything else can be recreated with code if our designs are well documented. And this is the purpose of the style guide. So this was our style guide at the beginning of the design process, and this is the style guide I've made from our current design. In a style guide, we'll document everything from colors to typography, buttons, content, margins, and so on. One important detail, let me zoom in, when documenting buttons, don't forget to document active states as well. How does the button look like when clicked? For the like button, for instance, the icon becomes blue. This file is for the developer, but also for you and the other designers working on the app, to make sure that everyone is on the same page. These two files will allow you to make sure that your designs are consistent. And consistency is one of the most important design principles. So you can find these two files in the folder of this course. Go ahead and spend some time having just a look at them. And obviously remember that design is iterative, so don't hesitate to change the style guide and the export file as your design evolves. I think that's it for this lesson. Thank you for watching and come back soon.